Camden is a city on the rise. However, there are still issues that the city is working to address. One of those issues is homelessness and hunger. And while the city is working to address those issues, some private companies have stepped forward to help. And one of those companies is Subaru. Subaru has helped countless communities in a way bigger than just transportation. Together with their partners, they have sought to address selected social issues affecting the community. With the homelessness and hunger situation in the city, Subaru has begun a community garden project at their headquarters here in Camden, New Jersey. Ms. Sandy Capel, Philanthropy and Corporate Responsibility Manager, has launched a Subaru Community Garden in a region where 13.5% of the population is food insecure. Many of the residents in the city work, but don't make enough money to cover their rent or mortgage, their utilities, and/or medical costs, or enough to feed their families.
My position here is Manager of Corporate Responsibility and Philanthropy. So I manage all of our community relationships and our employee engagement. Some of the projects, some of my best projects, let me say, definitely the garden that we have here. I came up with the idea after reading an article in the paper about how farmers were planting a row to donate to those in need. And I thought, why couldn't we do something like that? So I came up with a plan. Executives loved the idea. And so the Subaru Share the Love Garden was born. This year being our first year in Camden with the garden, I wanted to expand it to include additional partners. Since the garden started, the recipient of all the produce was New Vision's Homeless Center. And unfortunately, they closed their doors this spring. So we brought on the Cathedral Kitchen, which has been a longtime partner of Subaru anyway.
What is the collaboration with you and Subaru?
Oh, we're so thrilled to have Subaru here in Camden. They're about 2 blocks away, and they've been a longtime supporter of the kitchen. But they recently partially funded our nutritionist that we added to our team. And the harvest that Subaru brings to us, Kate, our nutritionist, will be here in our dinner program tonight with some of the produce, sharing it with our dinner guests, giving them recipe cards and nutrition tips about the vegetables that they provide.
Before we start the interview, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an executive chef here at the Cathedral Kitchen and also a culinary instructor. I have over 35 years of culinary experience in the industry. My recipe for cooking is passion. I cook with a lot of passion, a lot of love. I'm committed to making meals that warm the soul. A lot of comfort food. You know, I want the people to experience a meal here to know that someone really cared about them when they leave out those doors. You know what I'm saying?
And Kate also goes out to the senior centers here in Camden and sets up a similar market stand where the beautiful fresh produce that a lot of our dinner guests and seniors here in Camden wouldn't have access to because it's so expensive in supermarkets. So it's a great way for us to share the harvest with the community.
Because we need signage, which we've never had, I brought on Rutgers Center for the Arts. And they are working with one of their partner artists, and we're going to be designing signage and garden art, and it's going to be done by kids this fall in their school programs.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to be using car parts to help make some of the signage. So it should be pretty cool.
How is Rutgers Center of the Art contributing to Subaru?
So we are going to be working with some groups of young people in Camden, hopefully starting this summer, maybe into early fall, to create individual, unique, handmade garden stakes for the garden, and also a sign that says Subaru Share the Love Garden. So the way we do a lot of our projects is we have relationships with a lot of the Camden groups that we work with all the time, sometimes in the summer, sometimes after school, sometimes during the school year, and we reach out to them to see if they can fit us coming and working with them into their schedule. So Carmen Pendleton on our staff will put together a schedule for the groups to work either with us or with a teaching artist to create handmade art that they're going to learn some kind of new technique. We're thinking it's probably going to be some form of mosaic, tile mosaic, as you saw an example in the office, and make garden stakes that say different things, whatever is growing, tomatoes or flowers or whatever, and then also signage that will tell anyone visiting the garden that this is the Subaru Share the Love Garden and who participated in making the beautiful art to enhance the vegetables and plants that are growing in the garden.
Well, our culture is very unique. We're driven by what's called the love promise, and it's all about always doing the right thing and giving back. So the garden, I think, embodies that. And yes, every employee lives the love promise. And I think that's evidenced by the fact that I have so many people working in the garden this year. I've never had over 20 people. And they're engaged. It's not, they didn't sign up and not participate. They're really engaged.
It's a good thing. I mean, aside from just loving the garden, the whole idea is just wonderful. We all get together out here. We learn about gardening. We go through the whole process and plant and harvest and then deliver the food, and the food hopefully is going to people that really need fresh food.
It's amazing the abundancy that we can give back to the community and to Cathedral Kitchen this year, and it's fantastic. I'm actually going to have lunch today at the Cathedral Kitchen Cafe, and I'd like to meet Chef John and ask him what he thinks of all this produce from our garden and how he's utilizing it.
It's a very noble cause. As a corporate, as a good responsible corporate in US and especially Camden, we feel that we should do something good to the community we are, and along with growing our company, we want our community also to grow. So we do a lot of activities to help the local community.
And so I think it's just a part of our corporate culture, and the garden is a piece of it. In 2017 calendar year, we did over 130 volunteer projects across the country. A majority of them were local to our headquarters. And we donated well over 6,000 hours. And so I think it's just part of our culture. And it is an expectation of executive management, but it's an expectation of our employees too, that they have the opportunity to give back.